Hello.
What up, though? What up, though?
Welcome.
We are back.
Yes,
Blasian Soul Podcast every Wednesday coming at you. We're here to just discuss topics, current events, kind of highlight the entrepreneurs and the community leaders and role models that are in the Black and Asian community. We always kind of give this disclaimer that it kind of started out with a heated discussion of the problems with these communities is that there's no role models or leaders out there, which we felt was a great misrepresentation of both cultures. So we come on every week to kind of highlight some of those, give them their flowers now, kind of show the masses that there are role models out there. There are community leaders within our cultures, and we want to highlight them. So that's kind of the reason why we started. We've been going for what, a year now, maybe? Over a year?
Not yet. Last September we started.
Okay, so
almost a year.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
In 3 months.
Yeah, I mean, in a minute, you're going to see Blasian Soul shirts and sweaters and hats.
Get you some swag.
Man, all that good stuff. So I would like to say that I am very appreciative of the response that we've gotten from the podcast. We get a couple of thousand people to take a look at it. Maybe not in the initial broadcast, but throughout the week from replays on Spotify and YouTube and Facebook. So I want to take the time out to say thank you guys very much for supporting us, and we'll continue to do it as long as you let us. Actually, we'll probably continue to do it even after y'all let us, but that's just how it is. Few topics I think that are in the news right now that are I guess, of importance. For one, in the Black community, we see that Bill Cosby was just released from prison from his rape allegations. And he was released not because he was not guilty, but because the prosecutor made some mistakes. So he was released. There's a lot of talk on social media about that and what people think and things of that nature. And I just wanted to take the time out to say, I've gotten a few people on Facebook that says, they're divisive, and so is the Black community going to champion him because he got out? Is this another OJ thing where we know he did it, but you guys are still going to champion him? And my response is no, not at all. He admitted to doing wrongdoing. So in that sense, he is guilty, and he should be prosecuted for what he did wrong. Now, in that same instance, if the prosecutor messed up, if he did something wrong, if he was, if he did it on purpose or not, that's the law, so there's nothing that we can do about that. But I just want to make the distinction that just because he's a Black man, that does not in any form or fashion mean that we are backing him or championing him because he admitted to his wrongdoings. So let's get that narrative out of here as far as Bill Cosby is concerned. There's a ton of stuff with Trump. I don't even want to get into that. He's being an idiot as always, but there's a lot of things going on. So what we want to do is we want to focus on the good stuff. So we want to bring our guest on. I've known this guy for 20, 25 years, Mr. Croudy, which is a community leader. He's a role model to a ton of youth. He works with the youth in Flint, Michigan. So we wanted to bring him on and kind of discuss his background, how he got to where he got to, the achievements he had, and also speak about his mom, who kind of dedicated her life to education and the Flint community as well. So without further ado, we will bring Sean Croudy on.
Good evening, man. Good evening. Happy to be here.
Mr. Croudy, how are you, sir?
I'm great. And I was pleased to that you reached out. I was like, what's going on with myself? I've been on a podcast.
No, man.
Then it's Big Johnny's daughter's birthday, but she's out of town. You know, that's my daughter, because Johnny passed away in 2007, January 2007. Yeah. So, you know, I really play my role as being a godfather, what you're supposed to do. As a good friend of mine, you know, he passed, so I do my thing. She's doing well. She's 20 today. She's in Chicago, so I'm sure when she gets in town, she'll be in my pockets.
And let me definitely say happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So she's out in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, she's in our neck of the woods because we're in one of the suburbs of Chicago. We're in Algonquin.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, but yeah, man, Big Johnny that was my guy. So without a doubt, it's a good thing that you are taking that responsibility. I feel I take that responsibility to heart too. Kenesha and Marlon's daughter and son are our God children, and you know we try our best in any given situation to make it count as far as godparents are concerned.
Yeah, you got to, man. You got to play that role. It's all about support for any young person, or you know, as I'm a grown man, I need support. So my mom, you know, she passed in 2017 January, and I'm still in touch with like some of her real good friends or whatnot. So
sure.
You know, I still got my support system intact since I was a kid. So
that's what's up. Everybody needs that, man. Nobody is, you know, too brave or too hard not to have a support system to make sure that they grow. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm trying to take something off the bottom of this cup.
Oh. But first, tell people you out. I seen the chain link fence behind you, and I seen the hat. I'm like, is he at a baseball game right now?
No, the hat is to cover up my head from the sun.
It is hot out there.
Yes, a friend of mine has a clothing line, so we took a couple of pictures. She had on a tennis skirt, so we had to get a nice background.
Oh,
she has a boutique.
That's what's up. Now, for people who don't know, Croudy, tell them a little bit about what you're doing right now as far as your, we have up that you are a program coordinator for Citywide Sports as well as Crim Fitness Foundation. So why don't you initially tell us a little bit about that?
So I'm with the Crim Fitness Foundation. I've been with them for a little over a year. May 19th, I started with them. I made the transition from the city of Flint. And what I do is pretty much is help run sports programming for K through 6th graders throughout the city of Flint and also Genesee County. I've been involved with sports pretty much for a while, even when I was with the Flint schools after graduating at Ferris University in 1994 with the Bachelors of Social Work. I've been involved with the Flint Olympian and Canusa Games. Okay. Flint Olympian and Canusa Games is a stable in Flint. It's been going on for 64 years for Flint Olympic Games and 63 years for Canusa. And Canusa is where Flint and Hamilton play each other in amateur athletics. About 14 different sports.
Yeah, all my friends that I know from Flint, I have a ton of homies from Flint, from Ferris, but yeah, they have beaten that into me that is like a staple. That's like a prideful thing for Flint, so to speak.
Oh my God, it's experience. The whole premise of the Canusa Games is called Experience of Friendship.
Mm-hmm.
So like when this year, if it was a normal non-COVID year, our kids would go to Hamilton the second weekend of August, and our Flint kids would actually stay in the Hamilton homes for a weekend. So you get a chance to, see the culture. So like you have a 10-year-old son, your 10-year-old son will stay with a 10-year-old boy in Hamilton in the same sport.
Oh,
so let's say, for instance, 10 and under baseball. They would stay the whole weekend. Of course, they'll play some games and also get to know each other because like on Saturdays, the games are early. So after the games, you can hang out with the family and, do whatever Hamilton, Ontario has to offer.
Sure. That's what's up. That's what's up. And as I was trying to allude to, you kind of dedicated your professional career to helping kids out. You know what I'm saying? In many forms. So that's, to me, that's very commendable. It's easy to help somebody when you're getting something back, but to just do it out the kindness of your heart as far as your time and energy, that's what's up, man.
Yeah, I watched my mother do it, man. I came up in a single parent home. Have an older brother. He lives in New York. He's a graphic artist, and we watched my mom always, help educate folks, turn people on to different job opportunities or colleges or something like that. So we just watched her be, a legend in our community, giving back, and that's how I was raised. You're not giving back, you're not doing anything, in my opinion.
Right, right. Now let's kind of touch that subject because your mom is legendary, or I'm sorry, I apologize, was legendary in Flint, her time here. So you got to speak on that. They're dedicating a building to her.
Well, you can still say is because her spirit lives on. She died January 19, 2017. Mm-hmm. That building on Court Street, which is now a part of my community college campus, it's been open maybe like about a year because it opened in 2020 November. So it's a lot of things in that building. It's a early childhood program. It's about 30 kids in there now, but it would normally be 100. It used to be 2 to 5, and that building was a church.
Okay.
So my community college bought that building from a church that was next door. And now it's 6 months to 5-year-olds. And they also have a food pantry. They have a clothing spot where you can get clothes for interviews, or if you're a student at mine, you have kids who need clothes. So it's really pretty much what my mother liked to do as far as giving back and making sure everybody's included.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what race, as long as people had the supports to, especially at Mott, supports to graduate. Mott's a 2-year college. There's a lot of obstacles that young people have. There's also going to be financial aid services in there, services for mental health. It's not fully operational yet, but that's some things that are going to be in there to make sure that my community college students have what they need to graduate. And it's also for the community at large as well.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Now, for those who don't know, of course, everybody in Flint knows the history and story of your mom. But for those who don't know, why don't you kind of give a brief synopsis of how your mom contributed to the Flint community as a whole?
So she came from Atlantic City, New Jersey. My mother and father came to Flint in 1966. And once she was already a teacher in Atlantic City, New Jersey. But once she got here, she started taking over. She worked in the school district for like 40 years. She was on every board known to man. She also was a devastating Delta. She pledged at West Virginia State College in 1955. I know that because when she passed away, they did their ceremony. So I had to tell them what chapter and what year she crossed. Yeah. I forgot the name of the chapter. I get it mixed up with this Delta Alpha, Alpha Delta, something like that.
And this is from a Kappa, but anyway, continue.
Yes, I am a Kappa, fall 1995 Flint alumni chapter. A lot of the role models in my life would have to be Kappas that my mother was cool with, that was in the educational field. Yeah, so she was an administrator for Flint schools after she stopped being a teacher. I think the top job she had was director of language arts and humanities, I believe.
Wow.
And like I said, she worked for Flint schools for like 40 years. Then in 87, she started, or 86 around there, she started running for my community college board of trustees. Like I told you off camera, it took her 3 times to get on that board. But once she got on it, she was there. Over 1987 to 1992, she was just a regular board member. Then 92, she became the vice chairperson. In 95, she became a chairperson all the way to 2016. So it's funny. So she suffered a stroke in August of 2015.
Wow.
She was we had to put her in a home. We couldn't find nobody to take care of her in her house for 24 hours a day. So when she was in the home that we had her in, she still was going to the board meetings. She still served as chairperson of the board. She was on the phone. We'd have somebody with her. So because her mind was still strong, but we had somebody with her to make sure she wasn't talking crazy because of the stroke. Right. So December 2016 is when we had her step down because it was pretty much the end of her term, and then she was sick.
Yeah.
And then she ended up dying in January. So,
man, so sorry to hear that. Man.
Oh yeah, well she was 81. She lived a good life, man. I can finally talk about it without boo-hooing.
Right, getting emotional. Right.
Yep. So
Wow.
so Tuesday, August 31st is gonna be the big ribbon cutting of the North Croudy Family Life Center, which, like I said, is part of my community college campus. Those who follow me on Facebook know I've posted pictures several occasions to let people know what's going on, because I like to be informative to people what's happening with
Sure,
me.
sure.
You know, I don't get too personal on Facebook, but then sometimes I do.
Right. And if you got any flyer or anything like that, send it to us. We'll put it on the Blasian Soul social media platform so we can generate some more activity for it.
Yeah, once I get some information, they're sending out like postcards to like 5,000 people for the event. My brother already has his ticket to come home from New York, of course.
Oh, wow.
But I'm the spokesperson, so I'll be on the program. We have like I'm on a committee to help it, to organize it. So there's gonna be a lot of dignitaries speaking, the mayor, state representatives, the college president, which my mom helped find.
You got to videotape that so you can send that out. You know what I'm saying?
Somehow it's gonna be. I got to get somebody to do Facebook Live, or I know my live streaming or something. Something got to happen where that can be out there. It's gonna be on the news for sure, because we're doing it at 10 in the morning. The ribbon cutting is gonna be at 10 in the morning on that day, so the 12 o'clock news can cover it. So it's gonna be on all Flint platforms as far as news wise.
That's what's up. Now it sounds like you had a very firm background growing up to get to where you are. So why don't you kind of take us through a little bit of your background when you first started going to school? Who were your role models to keep pushing? Because I believe you have your bachelor's as well as your master's.
Yeah,
so that takes a lot of perseverance.
So I went to Flint Community Schools when it was top notch. Eisenhower Elementary, Flint Academy, where Terry Crews went to actor.
Oh yeah.
Flint Academy closed my 10th grade. After my 10th grade year, then I merged with Southwestern. That's why I think you might remember I went to Southwestern Academy.
Right.
Because me and Miguel started going back to school together in 11th grade, because we went to school together since kindergarten.
Man,
K through 6 and middle. He went to different middle school. Then when Flint Academy closed, we went together, school together 11th and 12th grade. Then we ended up being at Ferris State together.
Yep.
I had my bachelor's from Ferris. Graduated from there in 1994. And also knowing that social work, you got to have your master's to really make some money. I went back and got my master's from Eastern Michigan. I went to a part-time program because I was still working in Flint Community Schools at the time. So I did a 4-year part-time program at Eastern Michigan. I graduated from there with a master's in social work in 2003.
Now, when you were going to school, especially your collegiate years, was that your thought process? Is that I want to help children? Was it just that I just want to be in the social work program because I like helping people? Or was it specifically for children? What was your thought process at that time?
So it's funny, Marcelo, I went to Ferris State first to be a pharmacist.
Wow,
Ferris State has an excellent pharmacy program, but once you start doing that schoolwork and realize you're not that good in math and science, I had to make a change.
Right.
Oh, no.
I know I'm a people person, and I have that niche to work with young people, and then I knew a lot about the Flint community through my mom. So I figured, why not do social work? Because I can help people, especially families and children, which is my heart. So I chose that route.
Okay. All right.
Ended up working well for me.
No doubt. It seems like it. Now, is that something that your mother, do you discuss with your mother? Did she push you in social work or education or helping kids, or she just was like, do what you feel is best?
Man, mama was always down for me and my brother, as long as we ain't drive her crazy as far as being in the streets and getting arrested.
No doubt.
Whatever we're doing, as long as it's positive, she got our back 100%.
That's what's up. That is what's up. That's what's up. So, okay, so then you got your master's. After you got your master's, did you continue to work in the field that you were with the schools, or what happened after that? What was next?
So I was working at the Flint schools. I had a job that was grant funded. Well, I had 2 different jobs before I got my master's. I had a job that was grant funded. That program got cut. I ended up getting this other job. Once I got my master's, I became a school social worker. I did that for like 10 years. Then I had an opportunity to work with Mayor Weaver, who was the first African-American African-American female mayor in Flint. That's an opportunity I couldn't resist. That's when I was director of community recreation. That was in 2017 through 2019. I guess leave of absence from Flint schools. which I enjoyed the Flint schools. Again, working with young people, but that director of community recreation was on a full scale. I ran a basketball league for 3 years. That was successful. Over 300 kids participated. I had a middle school, high school, and elementary school division. I even had teams pretty much from Flint, but the third year I ran it, I had a team from Saginaw. I had a team from Ontario, Canada. I'm not sure what city, but they was in the high school division. And they came every weekend faithfully from Ontario.
Wow.
It was free.
Wow.
We also had baseball programs going on. It's inner city baseballs, RBI, kind of like the Tigers, kind of I don't know if you heard of RBI. It's like a lot of different inner cities. The purpose of getting black people back involved in baseball.
Okay, I know.
And also we had a hockey program, inner city hockey program as well. So we had a lot of good activities going on for our youth to do something different and expose them to something different instead of just the typical football and basketball.
Right. Yeah, I've been trying to get my son involved in golf lately. Even though I'm a part-timer, so golf is very frustrating, but I'm trying to get him in early. He's nice at hoop, but I don't really want him to play football. So my thought was, man, golf is the next best thing in my opinion.
So speaking of golf, now I can plug something. We have a golf outing July 26th at Flint Golf Club. It's 9 a.m. shotgun start. If there any businesses out here want to have their name out in Flint, $200 for a whole sponsor, $99 per person to play. We play a 4-person scramble. Yep. So you don't have to actually play well. You get some people who can play. You play the closest ball to the pin.
Right, close to the pin. Right, I feel you.
And we've been doing that for years. One of our main fundraisers for Flint Olympian and Canusa games.
That's
and
what's
Flint,
up.
Flint Golf Club is a private golf club. It's very nice. We can only play there on Mondays because they usually run tournaments on Thursday through I think like Saturday.
Okay.
I've been posting information on that on my page. If you follow me on my Facebook platform or the Hood Mayor on Instagram, and also have a Snapchat.
All right, now that's hilarious that you got Hood Mayor on yourself because we was just laughing about that. I was like, man, when you gonna go ahead and run for mayor? You gonna do it? Stop playing.
Man, after my run for 34th district, I was like, that's enough. And me working in the mayor's office, seeing what the mayors go through, I can't believe how my mother did politics, but she had 2 sons to raise, and she was pretty much by herself. I mean, we had some people in the mix, but it was crazy.
Wow. Now, you working with so many children and so many different ages and things of that nature. What do you think is the most rewarding portion of that? Is it at the end when you see them achieve? Is it when you first get them and you see them struggling and you kind of step in? What draws you to working with children?
Man, just making sure they have somebody to look up to, somebody that's gonna be with them. Pretty much forever. It's kids I used to work with. I know kids that was 5 years. I used to work when they was 5 years old. They grown now. I still see them, still communicate with them. They might use me as a reference for a job, or if I know anything that can help them do better, I still do it. I was just in Houston Thursday to Sunday. I have a young man named Tyree Thomas. He's a rapper now. He used to be wild boy in the streets. He went to Northwestern, and we got close in the 10th grade. He was dating Sky's cousin, which is like my niece. And so I got cool with all them, cool with him. He's like a big independent rapper now. His name is BFB the Pac-Man. He just released the album.
Wow.
It's called Fat Ends Need Love Too. But he's had like some singles and stuff, and now he finally released his album. It's like number 30. That's My Chicken's like number 30 on the hip hop charts. I think like number 70 on all genres. But man, he's doing real well. So stuff like that is rewarding. Like when I first met him, he was like in a gang. He was selling weed. So that's like one of the many stories I have with young people I've worked with that changed their life around. I ain't gonna say it because of me, but I know I was instrumental. Right.
It takes a village, without a doubt.
Yep.
Man, so let me ask you this. One thing in the news right now concerning kids is they are trying to pass laws to stop. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Is it racial critical thinking, where they're trying to stop people from talking about the history of racism and slavery and things like that in the school system, and there's laws being passed that stops that. Are you for or against them teaching that part of American history?
I'm for it because it's part of history. Our young people, that's one thing that's a breakdown in how our young kids are. They don't realize how valuable they are in our community, what their ancestors did, what they come from. That's some reason why they're not all of them, but that's why some reasons they don't value themselves. They don't think they think they're less of a person, but they don't realize we helped build this country in many ways. We invented a lot of things that's impactful in our community.
Right. I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, if it's history, if it's true history, why would you not want to tell that? You know,
and they need to learn more than just about Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Those are top people, but it's other people that made just as much impact as those folks.
Exactly. Like I said, one of the reasons why we started this is people was talking about there's no role models, and I'm throwing all these names out, and half of the names that I'm throwing out, they're like, who? I don't know who that is. So yeah, I don't think it's taught properly. Even nowadays, today, I mean, there's a ton of people that are well renowned, that are educated, that are role models out there. That they don't get enough pub.
Yeah, again, my role models, of course, my mom, and then the Kappa man she had me around. It's one reason I chose to pledge Kappa. Right. It was like a no-brainer. When I got to Ferris, some people didn't know about fraternities and sororities, but I knew about them because my mom was a Delta, and she was an active Delta. That's why I know about community service and all that type of stuff.
Right. That, I mean, the fraternity for Black people when you go to college is a very important part of the growing up process, because it forces you to think outside of just yourself. So your community activism, what you do. I was just joking with Porn that Kenesha and the AKAs is always doing something. No matter what it is, they're always doing a drive or something along those lines to promote, the young people. So without a doubt, I think it's.
And think about it, even when we was in college, of course, the fraternities and sororities did a lot of partying, but they did a lot of community service projects. Of course, then we didn't have social media, so you really didn't know about unless you saw a flyer on campus. But all the fraternities and sororities did a lot of stuff for Big Rapids community, for the private school system.
When we had our marches and stuff like that on campus,
exactly.
A lot of the sororities and fraternities helped organize that and help get it moving. So yeah, without a doubt.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, one thing we haven't touched on, Crim Fitness Foundation. What is that about?
So it's a nonprofit organization. They used to be known for mainly their race.
Mm-hmm.
They have a huge race. It's the last weekend in August. It's like a worldwide race. A lot of Nigerians come in town to Flint to run it. It's a 10K race. And you run through the city of Flint. Of course, you run through the good parts. You're not running through the hood.
I was just about to ask. No disrespect to Flint. I'm from the D, so I can't talk. But
right.
I was just saying, is there security available, stuff like that?
It starts off downtown. I think it's like security in place. Like, because I've never been involved in the race as far as running it. I've volunteered, passing out water to the runners. Mm-hmm. And also Fitness Foundation is involved in the school system as well. Again, with the Crim Sports program that I'm involved in. We have community school directors back in all the schools. Flint Community Schools only have like 11 schools, but community school directors back in the schools, and those community school directors pretty much help the community and that school come together. They have after school programs for adults and youth in that particular community.
Okay.
Because Flint Community Schools, so the school system is all about the community, making sure the parents are feeling welcome into the schools, help the kids achieve better with third grade reading, attendance, things of that nature.
So what are
they have nutritional programs as well, because Crim Fitness Foundation is big on health. We have summer running clubs with kids. We also do a teddy bear chart that goes along with the road race. Crim.org, if anybody wants to look into Crim Fitness Foundation, there's a lot of stuff that we do to serve.
You said Crim.org?
Yep, Crim.org. You go on that website, you'll see a bunch of stuff that we do for Flint and Genesee County kids.
That's awesome. So what are the age range that you work with?
Primarily K through 6th grade.
K through?
6th grade.
Oh, 6th grade. So little smaller children. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel the pandemic has impacted that age group?
Horrible, because they were in home, they were in the house. Some of these houses, these kids are going through some issues with different family structures that may be foul. Make a long story short, without doing some cussing on here. So, mental health issues could come out of this because you watching your parents, you got, your parents go through some things, or if you got a single parent home and your parents not educated, or your parents addicted to substance abuse or whatever.
Yep.
So what we did as Crim Sports, we did a lot of we did virtual programming on Tuesday,
really?
Wednesday, and Thursdays that went along with the after school programs at the school. We taught the kids how to play different sports. We played games like Kahoot, like minute to win it challenges. We try to keep the kids active through virtual programming.
Oh wow.
That's what's up.
Also, we made a sports kit. We had a bag of, made about 2,000 of these and gave them to every kid in Flint schools, and also to our community centers, Burston, Sylvester Broom Empowerment Village, Boys and Girls Club, and Flint Development Center. And in these sports kits, we had jump ropes, basketballs, footballs, soccer balls, volleyballs, some strengthening bands. We had a bunch of stuff so kids said, you could go out during the pandemic, you could still go outside in your front yard.
Exactly.
Do some type of workout. We had a playbook with those kits so you could, figure out what to do with certain things.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I tell my son that all the time. Just because you can't go and, practice with the team, that don't mean you can't keep your skills up.
Absolutely. Man. Practice makes perfect, they say.
No doubt. So with all the craziness of the last year and a half, what do you and this is just your take, but what do you think about the riots that have went on and the outpouring of Black Lives Matter and things of that nature, and kind of the negativity that we got back when they started saying Black Lives Matter and no, all lives matter, and that rebuttal. As an educated man, what's your thought process?
Things have not changed in many, many years. We're going through the same BS that we went through in the 50s and 60s. It's crazy. We still not getting no respect. We trying to get it, earning it. We got, we get small things like Juneteenth is a federal holiday now. Boo, oh wow.
Exactly. I could care less. No disrespect.
We need some reparation. We need some real change. Because we still jacked up from the slavery, man. All kinds of issues. Dark skin against light skin. I mean, we go on and on. That could be a whole other podcast.
Yeah, without a doubt. I was talking to a friend of mine and they were saying, well, man, it seems like, the page has turned as far as African Americans are concerned, because Juneteenth and the Black Lives Matter movement and people around the world are supporting y'all. That's all fine and good. But we need hard, tangible things that will help the community out, as opposed to these token gestures that we've been getting, which is what I feel.
Legislation. That's why I tried to run. It was unsuccessful, but I tried to run for 34th district state rep. And that district in Flint is mostly African Americans. I ended up losing to Mayor Neely's wife, but I did good for my first time ever running. I came in second place out of about 10 people. And a couple of those folks were Flint council people, so I beat them out. It's my first time ever being in politics, so I was proud of myself.
Without a doubt, just because you didn't get the prize initially, that don't mean that it wasn't in your future, number one. And number two, I mean, man, it takes courage to step out there like that. So no matter what the outcome was, it takes a vast amount of courage to kind of put yourself out there.
Yeah, I was doing all kinds of interviews and stuff. Like I said, my mother took 3 times before she got on the school board at my college. And then once she got in there, she ran that boy pretty much and made significant change in my college and Flint community. So, but you know what I like? I like the grassroots, because a lot of that stuff is red tape. So that's why I'm like, for right now, unless something else happens, what I'm doing right now is affecting change immediately. Like, kids are getting healthy. Kids learn the fundamentals of sports, learning that sports can help you in life. If you're good at it, you can get a free scholarship. You get a scholarship in bowling. You get a scholarship in golf. You get a scholarship in tennis. So,
that's what's up. And when you're ready for your next campaign, man, we gonna hype you up. So don't even worry about it. I mean, we here for you.
Yeah, no doubt. I appreciate that, man. I just, again, salute to both of y'all. I was like honored to be on the podcast and just I can just talk about. It's not no pressure. I ain't talking about no issues against somebody else, like running for something. You run for something. Whoever got the best answer, people like or whatever. But
no, this is straight roots.
Everything comes from my heart.
Yeah,
authentic.
Now we cannot continue with the podcast without talking about one of the bigger issues in Flint. Being a Flint native and being an educated Flint native. Yeah, the water. Flint water. What's going on?
So it's interesting that you asked that because actually at this point I don't know. It's been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
My house had the proper pipe, so I didn't have water issues as far as it was brown or not any of that. I didn't trust the water before we had the water crisis. I always drank bottled water.
Right.
But it's been kind of quiet. We still got to pay our water bill. That's not good.
Right. And man, it's amazing to me that all this time and still nothing like concrete has been done about it. So I mean, you're kind of on the ground floor. You're at the front line for this. Are they telling the Flint residents anything, or are they pledging that something's going to happen? I mean, or is it
I can just put like this. Now, when Mayor Weaver was in office, we changed out pipes to homes that had the messed up pipes, and nearly did it after we left office as well. So, kudos to him. I gotta make sure I show love where love is due. He finished the project that we started. So I'm not sure, like, again, what's going on as far as, I know the water tested better after the lead pipes were replaced.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the exact stats because there haven't really been like no announcement saying the water crisis is over. Similar like the
That's
COVID.
what I'm looking for.
Similar like the COVID. You don't know COVID is really over. I mean, people not wearing masks like they used to, but COVID's not really over.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm waiting for the big news announcement and the media covering that the problem has been handled, and I'm seeing none of that. It's kind of falling by the wayside, so to speak.
Yeah, when you're in a mostly African American community, a lot of things fall by the wayside, unfortunately.
Without a doubt. So tell them if they want to get involved in citywide sports, if they want to get involved in the Crim Fitness Foundation, how do they go about doing that? How do they go about helping and donating and things of that nature?
Crim.org. I'm looking for my business cards around here. But my phone number is 810-577-2445 because I just use that as my phone number because at Crim we work in cubicles and we have our office phones like some type of app that's downloaded on our phone. I was like, I'm not going through that to give out my personal cell phone because it's been on Flint Olympian Canusa game information for 16 years. How long I've been with that particular program. So I'm a community person, so people can reach me on my actual phone. And also, we're always looking for donations for Olympian Canusa games to keep it running. Again, the golf outing is coming up, and the hole sponsors are $200 a hole.
Now that one's coming up pretty quick. So if they want to golf, is it the same contact information if they want to get involved with that?
Yeah, on crim.org, we have the flyer up. It's live. You can register online. Or give me a phone call if you need any more directives to how to register for the golf outing. But again, it's teams. You play the best ball, so
that's what's up.
We have mixed, we have women's, we have all men. So however you want to do it.
That's what's
Marcel
up.
will be there.
Man, I would love to. I just don't want to get in bed.
It's a fun day. We feed you good. It's a chance to win prizes after the event is over with. It's we got raffles and whatnot. And everything goes back.
You know what? I might reach out. Marlon, Sherrod, I might get a couple of the fellas together and we try to get a foursome going.
But tears do.
Man, it's a fun day, man. It's a fun day. You meet some good people. And then Flint Olympic Canusa game has been around for so many years, like a family reunion, because you golf with people you haven't seen in years. That might have been your teacher. That might be your community school director. It's a big to do.
Wow.
Sounds fun.
I got to check that out. Now, before I go, I must ask, because I am from Marlin and Swang and all of D. Gordon and Prentice and all those guys. I've been to Flint enough that I almost have my secondary Flint badge as far as the representative. So
we'll say you're honorary Flintstone. I know you will.
That's what's up. Flintstone. That's what's up. Let me ask. Number one, is Big John still around?
Oh, no doubt.
Okay,
We have
because
several of those in different neighborhoods, different areas across the city. So yeah.
right, because when I first came to Flint, I got family in Flint from Clayton and all them cats, but it was like, man, we're gonna take you to the Flint spots, and one of them was Big John's, and I was impressed. I ain't gonna hold you up.
Oh, that.
It's still, it's one on, Cloud Road, it's north end. It's one on the east side, west side of Flint. I think it's one on the south side, but yeah, then it's one like in, I think Grand Blanc, but yeah, they still doing well. The one on Cloud Road, north side is black owned.
Okay. Now I don't remember the name of this place that Marlon took me to, but it's the tacos that's rolled up in aluminum foil. You know what I'm talking about?
So La Familia or La Azteca?
Oh, La Azteca. That's the name of it. Is that still around?
Both of them are. And it's funny. Some people don't like La Familia. Some people like La Azteca. I like both of them. And both of them are great. They got the sales on Taco Tuesdays, whatever. So those are Flint staples still going strong.
He brought them tacos back, and I'm like, man, it's greasy and grease running down my hand. I don't want to eat this. Ate that thing. I was like, man, that's the greatest taco I've ever had in my lifetime.
Exactly. Both of them are still popping, busy. You better, get there early or order out or whatever, because both of them are jumping, especially on certain days.
And this was, of course, back in our college days. So it was back when we was knuckleheads, but there was also a store on Clio Road that you used to pull up to the drive-thru, and there were certain aspects about this store that was unusual to me. When you tell them, hey, give me one of those and make sure it's sliced. I was like, what the heck is this? But we'll talk about that. Yeah, I gotta tell you that off camera, because I can't talk about that on the podcast. But it was a drive-through convenience store on Clio Road.
We have several of those drive-through corner stores.
Yeah,
we got several in the city. I went to one today and got me a pop and some peanut M&Ms.
That's insane.
This was on the east side of Flint today. I was over that way.
Yeah, man, crazy. But hey, man, we want to take the time out to say thank you. The reason why we're doing this is without a doubt because once again, it's easy to say that you're helping or you contribute a couple of dollars to an organization. It's quite a lot more when you dedicate your time and effort and your off time to help people out. And it's even more outstanding when your goal is to help children. So me being a friend of yours for the last 20 years, man, I want to say I'm extremely proud of what you've done thus far. And, you deserve your praise, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Like one of my favorite sayings, don't talk about it, be about it.
No doubt. Without a doubt. Definitely. Without a doubt. So, bro, thank you. For anybody out there, please, if you have time, if you have money, if you have the energy to go out and help, please check out Citywide Sports and Crim Fitness Foundation to see what you can do to further these programs and help these programs out. Because as you see, it's not about anybody making money off of it. It's about the children, helping the children, furthering the growth of children. So how could you not want to help that out?
Yep. Families and children is all I'm about. I've been about that for more than half my life, man. I'm 49. I started working in Flint schools at 22. All about families and children. And they need us. They need our support. We need, especially African American or people of color.
Mm-hmm.
We're the disenfranchised in general because you have some Caucasians that disenfranchised. So,
and I forgot you older than me. I forgot y'all came a year after. I mean, I came a year after y'all.
Yeah, I'll be 50. I'll be 50 February 8th of 2022. I can't wait to be big 50.
Told you.
You turned 50 this year.
I don't turn 50. I turned 48 this year. What you talking about? Swang and y'all was all a year or two older than me. I do remember that.
Yeah,
without a doubt. Man, so we ain't gonna take too much more of your time, brother. It was a pleasure having you on. In the future, we're doing a few things as far as like some game shows and stuff to bring people on and have a little fun. We're gonna have a space tournament on here. So we would love to have. I checked out the software for it, and it can be done. So we love to have you back.
Whatever you're doing, I know it's gonna be positive. I'm down for whatever, man. Salute to you and your wife. Nice meeting y'all. See all the nice photos y'all post, trips y'all taken. I appreciate it, and post this on my page. I don't know, I might not know how to do it on my phone or whatever, but
No, I got
Hopefully
you.
it's on my Facebook page for everybody to see, or however you do it. Let me know so I can post it.
No doubt. No doubt, man. Thank you very much, bro. Peace out. Be
All
safe.
right, salute, man. One love to both y'all.
You
No
too.
doubt. No doubt.
Bye, Sean. Wow.
That's my guy. You guys see every once in a while I bring on people from Ferris State. Number one, that's because Ferris State is where I kind of grew up. That's where I, you kind of got out the hood and kind of got into a different situation and learned that there's other things in life besides, the usual pitfalls that young black males go through. So Ferris was very important to me, and it does my heart good to see people from Ferris doing well. Whether it was educators at Ferris or whether it was some of my classmates and colleagues, it just does my heart good to see that people that I went to school with that grew up kind of in the same area and dealt with the same problems that I have has grown up and has made an impact on the community. That is is everything to me. So when possible, I try to get some of my college mates on here to kind of tell their story. And Croudy was one of the guys who, Croudy was always cool, always kind of looked out, always kind of, like I said, they were a little bit older than me. So on certain things, they kind of tried to steer me in the correct direction. So I truly appreciate that wholeheartedly. See my wife have any extra thing. Okay, I'm gonna say this for her. Right. Hey, her book is out. It's doing extremely well. Pub on the book. Y'all better go buy this book. Okay, you can go on Amazon, get this book. It's doing extremely well, but we want to see it grow even more. Yes. So without a doubt, go out there and get it.
Yes, sir. Sir.
I took that.
You took that for me. Yes. I appreciate everybody who has supported in purchasing the book, who has put on a review on Amazon. Ooh, that was cool.
That's dope. I like that.
Wow. So for everyone who has shared the review on Amazon, and for those of you who purchased the book, whether it's the signature one or the one from Amazon, I truly appreciate it. It is my first book. It is a biography, of my life. I know that I had a review from someone. It's okay. We need them too.
Listen. From someone who reads books a lot, or used to before I got 4 kids and wife and all that. You take a book for what it's worth. So if someone's telling their story, their truth, you don't say, well, I don't like the third person it was written in or the first person it was written in. And, there could have been subplots to it.
Yeah. I'm sharing my life, right. Not a Shakespeare.
Man, this ain't a murder mystery. And she is not a thespian. You know what I'm saying? She has a very detailed and unique story to tell. Now, if you don't want to hear the story, don't buy the book. Yeah, that's okay. Right. But if you do buy the book and you want to hear the story, this is what you're getting. You're not getting, Sun Tzu and all of this great revelation on the human mind. What you're getting is one person's journey
in America and what I've experienced being Asian in America and the racism that I have experienced both growing up and also to share my story to represent the Lao community and to share our story of the refugee paperwork, the process it took to get us to America, why we're even here in the first place. And, and for those people who are always constantly go back to your country and, those kind of things, it's like I want them to realize that this is our country. We don't know any other countries. This is America is our country. Most of us have never even stepped foot in Laos, which is where I'm from. I was born in Thailand in the refugee camp, so I've never even stepped foot in my own country, homeland. And it is because of the tragedy of the war and the Vietnam communists taking over, and our families were forced to flee for refuge. It's not to no fault of our own. And trust me, if my parents had it their way, they would not leave their country. They love their country, and there's some deep, rich history from there. And if I remember, I think my dad even took soil from his homeland, and he's, kept that from him all the way coming here to America. So, it's just one of those books that, if you're looking for like a Shakespeare or anything, that's not where you're going to find it. You're going to find chapter by chapter, different parts of my journey, and different parts that I share as far as what it was like living in America as an Asian American, the racism that people don't realize it's out there, and that it is true, and that it is real. The racism is real. Asian hate is real. And I just wanted to put some context to it of what I personally have experienced from childhood all the way to adulthood to the corporate world, and what I have personally experienced even up until just recently, few months ago. Just racism is everywhere, and until we can admit that it's there, and until we can get people to educate people that it is real, then until that happens, we're gonna just be able to, we're just gonna stay stuck in the same spot. So it takes conversation, it takes education, it takes coming to terms that there are people out here that are racist, and there are people out here that hate you because of what you look like, who you are. And hopefully through our process, through educating, that they'll be able to understand, that this is our country, our shared country, and how can we get together and move forward from here, from where we are, and be happy.
So stop all the hater stuff. Mm-hmm. It was only one person. Everybody else has been generally, positive as far as the book is concerned. But a negative comment to that degree does no good. It doesn't make her rethink how she wrote the book. It's just being negative. Don't let the shirt and tie fool you. I don't have a tie on today, but don't let the shirt and tie fool you. That's my wife. So I'm a champion. My wife, no matter how.
But I'm okay with that. At least she said that. Great story. She liked the story. She's just said
that great story was, man, I like you, but you know what I'm saying. You always start out with the good stuff.
It was a great story.
Somebody down.
However, as a writer, and that's my first book, I'm not a great writer. English is my second language. So I did the best I can as far as my writing skills go. But the thing to pull out of that is that I pushed through my own, self-doubt in writing, and I published a book. Not many people can say, hey, I published a book. People dream and think about it, but they don't actually do that. They let their fears set in, and I could have easily done that, but I didn't, because I was thinking about how many people that my story could impact. I wasn't thinking about myself. I was thinking about how many lives can I inspire and impact through sharing my story, and through, just the process of, how I got to where I am, and who I can help do the same. And hopefully through my story, and through seeing that I braved that and shared intimate parts of my life, that other people would also be wanting to share, because people need that, especially right now, what we're going through. People need to hear the truth, and they need to hear your story. Everyone has a story, and there's somebody out there waiting to hear yours. So definitely.
And I'm just telling you now, when I write my book, I live with 4 women in a household, and that comes out. I don't want to hear no negative stuff. I'm not gonna do it flat out. No, we're just playing with y'all. But yeah, check out the book. Hey, I bought the book.
$40 and a dream. I was shocked when that got delivered. I'm like, babe, why is this coming in your name?
Husband. We got free copies, and I still bought the book. So I bought the book, and I get free copies.
I will sign your book.
You damn should sign. You got blood on your finger and stamp.
I will finger stamp your book.
But anyway, guys,
yes.
Once again, thank you guys for
tuning in. We will see you next week, same time, same place, to highlight another community leader and to talk about what, babe?
I don't know yet. We're kind of tinkering with the format. We want to do some fun stuff as well. of course, we're going to highlight the role models and community leaders, but what I don't, here's the thing with
Blasian
podcasts.
so business section.
Here's the thing with podcasts that I've noticed. I mean, I've done research, so the Joe Budden podcast and the Drink Champs and all these different podcasts. The things that are usually popular are ones that deal in drama, which hopefully we don't get into. Things that deal in comedy and making people laugh and have fun. So I'm looking at, like I said, Spade turning.
You're a comedian.
I don't know. We got a joke. I don't even know what that was.
You're a comedian.
You know, we're gonna look into some stuff about having interaction with the audience and, you know, doing, you know, Family Feud things and Spades, and, you know, I was even thinking to have a men's forum as one of ours, because Lord knows that she like, oh, we'll do
We'll do
forum.
women's forum.
But you know, center a place.
We'll have our meeting. We got our meeting in 4 minutes.
Yeah. We'll you know, center it in place, and I'll have everybody, you know, that all guys that I know to kind of come up and have food and chime in and whatnot. But we're looking at some different things. We also looking into merchandising, because, as I said, we're getting sponsorship now, and, you know, we want to grow this. And one of the aspects of growing this is from a financial position, because you would not believe we didn't buy lights and mics and soundboards and all that nonsense that we bought. So we got to use it, and if we're going to use it, then we have to be, I guess, on par with us spending this money and making it feasible. So a ton of that stuff is coming up. But everybody, thank you guys a lot. As I always say, hey, help each other out there, and because it's crazy.
7.
No, 7 will actually be to that side.
Yeah.
Watch your 6. And she actually asked me one day, what is a 6 and why are you watching it? But it's a military term, watch your back. So, everybody be good out there, be safe, help each other out, and we will see you next Wednesday.
Definitely.
Deuces.
Lock on.